presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, we hear about the Cayman Arts Festival's final performances this week. And later in the show, it's Open Line. So let us know what's on your mind. Talk Today, next, right here on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
I enjoy the show. I always listen to it every day.
Oh, I'm back on. Well, it's a Monday. Remember my story about people used to say, "Don't buy a car that was bought on a Monday." The workers are still hungover from the weekend. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. And I'm not hungover, no. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are, wherever you happen to be hanging out this afternoon. I hope you've had a good, refreshing weekend and, ready to start a brand new week. Well, for a lot of people, the highlight of the weekend was the Super Bowl, of course. And while the game was a pretty good one, I'd say that anyway. The halftime show was a big hit with many of us as Bad Bunny laid down the Puerto Rican Caribbean flavor real thick on that show. And you how many times in the past have you ever seen a bunch of bananas on the Super Bowl halftime show, or cane fields, right? Coconuts. I've never seen that before in the Super Bowl. But you saw it yesterday, for sure. Oh, yeah. That Puerto Rican Caribbean flavor was definitely there. But what got the local social media blowing up was when people spotted the Cayman flag amongst the other Caribbean and Latin American flags at the end of Bad Bunny's performance. Yeah. People were posting left, right, and center, and even had videos and, showing the Cayman flag there at the end. And, somebody even said, "That's probably Luigi holding up our flag there." Yeah, if somebody was from here was going to do that, it would probably be Luigi. So thanks to Bad Bunny, Cayman had a little part of the spotlight at Super Bowl 60, and it brought out the national pride in everyone, spotting our flag there. And to be honest, I had never heard of Bad Bunny before until until it was announced that he was going to be performing, at the Super Bowl, and then it was the controversy about, why Bad Bunny? Well, the guy only has as I've learned recently, 6 Grammys and just won a Grammy for Best Album and all this. The first Spanish language album to win, Grammy, the Album of the Year. And it was a very nice show, actually. And 135 million people tuned in to see Bad Bunny's halftime show. So that made it the most watched halftime show since 2018 when Justin Timberlake performed. And that's according to NBC Sports. And there was a wedding worked in to that whole performance, and supposedly the wedding was real. Someone actually got married. And then at the end, there was that message at the end on the football was written, "Together we are America." Bad Bunny sending out a message of love, right? Donald Trump must have watched it too, because he of course commented on it. He said it was the worst Super Bowl show ever. I guess it had too much rhythm, too much love in it for him, Well, I'm going to take a little break here. When I come back, we'll find out about the final performances for the Cayman Arts Festival. Stay with me.
Years ago, it may not be 2020. Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The Department of Agriculture is reminding all livestock farmers planning to enter animals in the Agriculture Show on February 18th to register each animal before the deadline. This includes cattle, goats, sheep, swine, poultry, rabbits, pigeons, and horses. Registration is required for every animal being submitted. Farmers can register online. Visit the Department of Agriculture's main office at 181 Lottery Road or call 947-3090 for assistance. You can also find registration links on Instagram and Facebook at Agriculture Cayman. Don't wait. Register on time and be show ready.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. The Cayman Arts Festival will wrap up this week with performances from Jaden Hanna in concert, and the closing act on Saturday is Miguel Vargas Flamenco Dance Theater. And joining me now to tell us about those closing acts is Glenn Inanga, the co-founder and artistic director of Cayman Arts Festival. Glenn, welcome back into the studio. How has things been going so far with the festival?
Now, before I say anything, I just want to thank you for inviting us again to be back here on Radio Cayman. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, your team, Paul and Susan. It's a real delight to be back and to share with you some of the wonderful blessings I think we have really received in the past 3 events of the Cayman Arts Festival. It's been really wonderful. It's interesting. Every festival seems to be very different from one year to the next. And this particular year, we have focused on the theme of musical journeys. And it's really interesting when you talk about musical journeys, you're talking about musical journeys of the various different artists that we have been developing here in the Cayman Islands, but also the musical journey for the K-Musica, the Cayman Arts Festival. And it's really interesting. I've been thinking about this, and you're almost seeing the progress of the organization through the eyes of the young students and the young artists who have been coming through the various educational programs we have had. And it's really a real source of pride when we have an opportunity to showcase some of the work of these amazing young people. So, for example, last night we had a wonderful collaboration with an international group from the all-female Dutch group called the Royals, collaborating with Future Phobia, whom I was talking about last Monday, and it was really a sight to behold. They owned that stage. You would never know you were actually listening to teenagers in the level of maturity they showed in terms of how they worked the audience. They almost were so generous with their display of talent, so generous with their display of artistry. It was really refreshing to see. And Jason Gilbert, who went on stage and explained, why he felt this is something we all need to pause and reflect and think about, because I think he said in the studio last week, this is not AI-generated stuff. And in an age of AI-generated content, when you have content being created by young people, young creative minds, it's just stunning. So, very simple example, we had with the Future Phobia, we had them playing multiple instruments to the extent that one of the members couldn't make it. So the bass player actually came forward and did all the vocals for that event. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And that's something he was trying to tell us all about. And so that all came through very nicely at the end. And the reaction from the audience was just absolutely wonderful. In fact, Her Excellency the Governor was there last night, and she was really blown away by the talent. And it was really nice to see that musical journey, that progress, that sense of pride that our young people have. In fact, they even started this was great, actually. They started their act or their presentation with Monty Boat. Yeah. I mean, it was just so ingenious how they did that. They felt they were doing original stuff, but they wanted to show where everything kind of started, in a sense.
And this was their rendition, I imagine.
Yes, it was their They did 2 different renditions. In fact, they closed out their whole set with Monty Boat in a rock style. The original they did at the beginning, it was just ingenious. I mean, who would think of doing it that way? I mean, they obviously know what they wanted to say, and some of the original songs were really sort of telling stories about what it's like for young people growing up in Cayman at the moment. It was just very thought-provoking.
Their songs were all original.
All original, and they were stunning, really stunning. I mean, it really tells you what sort of things are going on in the community amongst our young people, and how they're able to express their views and their thoughts so naturally through song, through rhythm, through music, which they composed all the lyrics, composed all the chords and harmonies to go with it, and it was just so compelling. And that's because they are being given the support, and people in the community are coming to listen to them and giving them that encouragement. And I always keep saying this, it's one thing to create music in the studio. It's another thing to go on stage and perform it. Those are 2 different experiences. And when you go on stage,
you get one take.
You get one take, but the positive side of it is you have certain experiences that only come with live performance.
The interaction with the audience. Yes,
interacting with the audience, and that has you walk away as an artist transformed by that experience. And that transformation goes into your next performance. And I saw that happening last night. And I was thinking to myself, what a fantastic idea it was. Myers decided he would invite them to collaborate with the Royals, and the collaboration was fantastic. It was just, and the audience didn't want them to leave. We had to still wrap up the show because, people had to get to other things, but it was just wonderful to watch. It was really great, and that's kind of why I'm glad I'm back again today to talk about the events coming up, particularly the one on Thursday. And the event we have on Thursday, in a sense, is celebrating the career of a very young Caymanian artist. Her name is Jaden Hanna. She's a wonderful singer. And I'm just even looking at the program here. Born and raised in the Cayman Islands, Jaden Hanna is a multidisciplinary artist whose work bridges music, storytelling, and film. With a voice shaped by both island roots and international training, she brings warmth, authenticity, and emotional depth to every performance. She's actually a graduate of Berklee College of Music. She went to John Gray as well prior to that. And it's a holder of an MFA in screenwriting from AMDA, Los Angeles. She's performed on renowned stages, including Lincoln Center and Birdland Jazz Club in New York City. I mean, that's big.
Yeah,
that is huge.
Those are major stages.
Those are major stages. And she's here performing at the Hartwell Theatre. She's got her own live band sort of backing her. And I'm even looking at the list of some of the things she's performing. Fantastic variety of genres. In a sense, you've got some Elton John here. We've got some Adele. You know, it's just some original stuff too, which is just fantastic. So you get again to sample kind of their musical values when you hear people doing original stuff. You know, what is it that resonates with them? So I'm really excited that the opportunity to present her work through our festival came up, and she's definitely going to wow a lot of people. And if you haven't heard of Jaden Hanna, I think you need to come and hear her on Thursday at 7 o'clock. Between 7 and 8, she'll be performing at the Hartwell Theatre.
Yeah, I was wondering, is this the first time that she's performed in Cayman at this level?
She's done other performances before, but I don't think she's ever had a show to herself. I may be wrong, but I haven't seen her having a show to herself at this level before. She's gone in and done, guest appearances here and there and brought the house down. But it's really nice when you give the stage to one artist and say, right, let's see what you do with it. And that's something which I know is, again, part of her musical journey, and learning what it takes to, to perform and put on a show like this. So I think that's something we're very proud of her journey, very proud of what she's achieved. And I think many people in Cayman would be very proud of what she has achieved. And this just goes to show what amazing things our students are doing all over Cayman, not just locally, but internationally. And that's something when I sit in the audience and I just watch and I listen and I'm just so happy that the community has come together to support these young artists. We even had on Saturday, because you were asking me about what happened in the previous event. We had Camerata Strings, who are part of our Starlight program, which is our after-school program, working with the Yehudi Menuhin School students, or past students, alumni. And it was just an incredible thing to watch, because these youngsters who, in a sense, not used to performing on a stage like this, they were probably performing in the Hartwell Theatre like that for the first time. And to have the support and the inspiration coming from playing on the same stage at the same time with these international guests was phenomenal, and superb performances right all the way through. So in a sense, you're seeing different facets, different perspectives of what it takes to develop a whole community of artists at that level, and they are really giving us wonderful results of given the support that they have received, and I know they really appreciate it as well. So again, I'm here to thank people for coming out to listen to these people. I promise you will be absolutely blessed. You even have a 2-for-1 special for Jaden's concert. You can't pay for one ticket for $40. You get 40 US, which is 32 CI. Mm-hmm. You get entry for 2 people. I don't see where else you can get that in Cayman. So it's really worth your while. 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock is the show, and I'll be definitely there, excited to see the progress she has actually made.
So she actually performs. She's a professional.
This is what she does.
Has a concert schedule overseas.
She probably has a concert schedule both here and probably overseas, because it says here she continues to collaborate with artists locally and internationally, inspiring audiences and young creatives alike through work that uplifts and connects across cultures. So she's on her path. She's doing what she does, and she's got fantastic foundation from the work she did overseas, her training overseas, and she's infusing that with her local background, having grown up being born and raised in Cayman. So very exciting times. Our artists are doing great stuff.
Now, there's a educational aspect to this whole
Yes.
arts festival also, right?
Yes, it's educational in the sense that we have what we like to do is spot talent through the eyes of their music teachers at the very primary school level, and what we do is we find opportunities to help them develop their talents. We send them on scholarships overseas for camps. We send them, we try and find ways to support their development if it's here in Cayman. So we basically paying for some of their tuition or all of their tuition sometimes that it takes to be able to access the resources to develop your talent. And one of the things that I feel is part of people's educational journey, again, is live performance. If you don't perform live, you fail to see that side of development that comes with live performance. And it's great that, again, people come and support by attending live performances. They're actually part of that entire ecosystem of what you're trying to do to develop this particular artist, and they really appreciate all that level of support. So education is everything. I think that's how you raise a nation, that's how you build the cultural fabric in Cayman.
And a lot of these performers are also going into the schools.
Oh yes, you asked a very good question. In fact, as we speak, one of the groups that was performing last night, the Royals, an all-female Dutch band, are performing at Clifton Hunter School for the students there. And they're sharing with them exactly why it is they perform the way they do. These are only 13, 14-year-olds performing. And they were saying to me last night, okay, so, what's our audience going to be? And I'm going to say they're not going to be anything as disciplined as the ones you actually had last night, where you're going to have raring teenagers really having a great time, different energy levels. So hopefully, we're going to have, again, interaction between performers who are teenagers and their peers who are very curious to know what it is like for students who are studying in Europe to come to the Caribbean for the first time and to see what experiences they're actually going through just from being in this kind of system. I know they had a great time collaborating with Future Phobia. They had really wonderful time. The energy, the synergies that they could get between the two groups was fantastic. So some of what one group was doing rubbed off on the other and vice versa. And that was wonderful to see at that level of development, so that was great.
Now, some people might see, they went to school and they performed, and how nice that is. But how important is just the mere exposure that
for our
young
students.
people get?
Okay, I'll tell you my own personal story. The only reason why my horizons were extended was because I was living in a country that felt, where private organizations felt it was important to have visiting artists come and perform. So for me, in the case of piano, I was really interested in pianists, and they had these arts, and I still remember to this day exactly what they played. It had that strong impression on my mind. It gave me the reason why I felt it was worth working towards a particular standard. And I see that happening time and time again. My story is no different to many other people's stories who even grew up in parts of Europe where somebody came and performed, and it just set off that spark of interest and curiosity in the minds of the young student. And I saw that happening last night as well. I saw a couple of little girls who were probably 7 and 5, whom I've got a little bit of inside information about the fact that, sometimes they're not always motivated to practice. But I saw these kids pumped up, going on stage, taking pictures with the artists, Why? Because they finally got it. This is why it's worth working. You can get on stage and have such a great time playing to such a wonderful level, having so much fun. And yes, the education component is so important, and that is the impact it has, the lasting impact it has on the students coming up behind. In fact, somebody said to me about this festival, it's not like most other festivals that you see all over the world. This festival is really committed to having this collaboration between local artists and international artists, but in particular, young artists at the moment, because they are the ones that we're really feeling that's how you develop what it is that you want to see, what you want the future to look like. And I'm seeing it happening every single day. It's evolving in front of my eyes, and you're beginning to see opportunities for developing talent. And then other people in their social network amongst the kids see this other kid doing this. Oh, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
And it has this ripple effect, and it's wonderful because you are not the one having to do anything anymore. It's kind of self-sustaining it in itself. They want to do it. They've got their own internal momentum, their own networks, and When you get to that stage, you're really winning.
Yeah, I'm sure some young child, seeing someone perform brilliantly will look up there and say, I want to do that.
Yes. And in fact, the pianist who played on Saturday night said precisely that. And he is fantastic, really phenomenal. I mean, goodness me, who performed, as Ashley was. He told us, in fact, he had a class. This is amazing. He had a piano class at John Gray on Friday with a group of enthusiastic students. And it was really interesting to hear his story and how they actually resonated with what he was going through. He's basically said, I saw somebody doing this and I felt, gosh, I really want to do this too. And you see it happening with the same student, the students hearing Cayman, listening to him play, listening to his journey, and he's had a phenomenal musical journey, very multifaceted. And they were connecting with him in that way as well. So yeah, that's kind of how it works, and so exposure can do phenomenal things. And exposure comes in so many different shapes and sizes, so many different formats. Exposure for the audience to different artists, exposure of different artists to different types of audiences, and every single experience you have helps to shape you to become the artist that you eventually become, and that makes you unique in your own right. And that's really wonderful to be in a place like Cayman, which is so wonderfully small, but literally punching above its weight, because we internationally, people have heard of us now. People really admire the work that's being done in Cayman amongst the young people, amongst the particularly the art scene in terms of what we're trying to achieve. They're saying, wow, this is fantastic. And in fact, when I go to other Caribbean islands, I don't see this happening to the same degree. And so that's when I begin to realize, gosh, we are really blessed. We're really blessed to have this dynamic community whereby you have artists who want to improve, they want to grow, and you have a supporting community who want to see them excel. I mean, who could ask for more? I mean, this is really fantastic. And then you have institutions like Radio Cayman saying, hey, come and talk about what you're doing. Come and spread the word. It's a wonderful system, wonderful ecosystem. I really think it's great. We're very proud of it.
We're going to stick a pin there. Got to take a break. Be right back.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy.
Janelle? From Spring Break 08?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Brit K. Good like that.
This Ash Wednesday, February 18th, celebrate harvesting harmony at the 57th Annual Cayman Islands Agriculture Show from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. Food, farming, culture, and community come together at the grounds in Lower Valley. Hosted by the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society and the Ministry of Agriculture. This one-day extravaganza is packed with Caymanian pride, family fun, and great prizes to be won. Don't miss it. Follow Cayman Agriculture on Facebook and Instagram for all of the details.
Sponsored by the Department of Agriculture, Pepsi, Quality Feed, Ale Thompson's, Terra Vegetation and Maintenance, and Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and in the studio with me is Glenn Inanga, and he's telling us about the closing acts of the Cayman Arts Festival that is taking place this week. And so Jaden Hanna is Thursday night, is it?
Thursday night, 7 p.m. till 8 p.m., Jaden Hanna at the Harkwell Theatre. Buy one ticket, you get admission for two people, and it works so brilliantly.
Great deal.
It's a phenomenal deal. I don't see this deal anywhere else. So for 32 CI or 40 US, you buy one ticket, and you're coming in to see some world-class talent. I think that's great.
And then closing out the festival.
Okay, closing out, we've got, and this is a very popular event, it's probably almost sold out, we've got flamenco. And we've got a flamenco musical theatre, or flamenco theatre, dance theatre, I should say. Miguel Vargas, he's been before, backed by popular demand, and he's actually here with his wife, who's apparently a bigger, even more famous artist. So we're in for a real treat, and he's got his whole group of musicians to back them. So we're going to have... they're going to bring the house down. So that's at the Harkwell Theatre at 7 o'clock on Saturday, Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So I guess some people, they'll come from 7 till 8 or maybe 7 till 8:15 and they go off and have their Valentine's dinner. But it's a nice thing to be at the Harkwell Theatre. I'll be honest. I really want to say something about Cayman National Cultural Foundation, whom we've partnered with for the past 3 to 4 years now. And this is the first time all our events are happening at the Harkwell Theatre. It's a wonderful venue. We've had different genres.
It's great that it's centralized.
It's centralized. It's got the infrastructure. One of the things I used to have problems with before were the acoustics for classical music. So when you're going in there and you're playing, on your cello or and it's not being amplified in any way, how well does it do? But I know they've done some really good improvements. They've got a new piano there now. So we had a wonderful performance of, classical chamber music, on Saturday night with the Yehudi Menuhin School, alumni and their past music director. And I sat there at the back thinking, gosh, this works. And then you go from that to rock the next day and pop. And then from there you go to flamenco. So we've got a nice home where we can actually work. And that brings me back to the name K Musica, which is Cayman Music Alliance. We have these partnerships with different organizations on the island. And we are very grateful for these partnerships. And I really believe that's how you build in any sort of community. You work together. You find ways in which you can find synergies to help each other, to support each other. And that's how things have been working for the past few years now, and we're very, very, very proud of that. And it's a great place to have our events hosted. And
Glenn, I'm going to ask you to put on your those headphones there because we do have a caller.
We have a caller.
Yes, so let's take this call. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good to hear about the successful music festival that's concluding this weekend. I just want to congratulate everyone involved. The kids as well as Mr. Nanga and Jason Gilbert. I know that their passion is there and their dedication to the kids. But I think some parents, of course, parents will lead or move some of their children towards music if they feel it's valuable, apart from listening to it on the radio or the internet. But I just wanted to say how valuable it is, and as Mr. Nanga can say, in focusing in your personal, focusing in your academic works. For instance, Jason Gilbert, it's amazing that he's even in Cayman still, a Grammy winner Caymanian, working to help Cayman music students. And he's actually a lawyer. He's an accountant. He's continuously developed himself personally and professionally. So it's not just not that it's minimal, but not just music. Music is something that touches your whole life and your whole intellect and soul even. So I'll leave it at that, and congratulations again.
Oh, thank you very much for the call.
Listener, thank you so much for highlighting that. And that's something we're actually finding is quite a common theme, even amongst the young students. Many of them in our educational programs are excelling academically as well. It's amazing. You get certain discipline that comes with trying to hone your craft, trying to develop a particular skill, and that spills over into your academic work, and your academic work spills over into you trying to develop this skill. So it's something which I always say to parents: make sure you give your child the opportunity to be exposed to this, to connect with an instrument, even if it's voice, because they learn certain things that they wouldn't learn anywhere else. And that's something which I personally benefited from that, and I will always support any young student who is interested in developing their musical skills. That's why we do what we do with the Cayman Arts Festival and K Musica. That's basically what we're about, and that's where we're seeing the most success. That's something we're very, very proud of, and we've been at it for 22 years, and it's great to be able to see how far things have come. You can follow an artist from the time they were 8, and you see what they're doing in their 20s now. it's amazing. So it's definitely the right thing for our young people.
There's actually evidence that introducing children to music, especially reading the music and understanding that,
absolutely
helps with mathematics.
Absolutely. Definitely does. It's funny because at UCCI where I work as well, I teach both music and I teach maths.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it's really wonderful. It's a real privilege to be in that position where
you understand that connection.
I live that connection, literally. Those two things live in my head, and I can actually see those connections and how beneficial it is to the students. Even the students who think they're not good at it, I don't believe it. They just haven't been shown how the things are connected.
What can you tell us more now about the Miguel Vargas Flamenco Dance Theater?
It's interesting because this is something that's very popular. They're coming from Spain. And this is
original stuff, the real thing.
I mean, if you read Esperanza Fernandez, the singer, she grew up in the gypsy tradition. I mean, it's amazing. And you can just see straight away, they're bringing that culture here, but it resonates with a lot of people here in Cayman. One thing I'm noticing, because of the influence of, or exposure to Spanish culture, you have a lot of people here in Cayman who love and can connect to that. We even had in January, Nathan Barnett, as you know, who's a big supporter of flamenco work. He had someone called Carol, a wonderful flamenco guitarist, and she was here. We had 2 events at the library. The library is where we sometimes have our music at the library events. I
remember promoting it.
Yes.
I give it a little
Thursday and Saturday, 2 days apart, both sold out. And I sat there thinking, do you know how hard it is to get people to come to this venue in such great numbers, 2 days apart, let alone sell out? So my eyes were opened. There's a demand for flamenco music, and this is something we hope to develop over a period of time. But the last time Miguel Vargas came here, you couldn't find any seats in the Hartwell Theatre, and that's where things are headed at the moment. So I'm looking at that and thinking, wow, okay, this is another international event that's wonderful to have here, fantastic, and people are going to have a great time, and they all have heard of that. But how many of them have heard of Jaden Hanna?
Yeah.
They need to hear about Jaden Hanna. They need to see what amazing stuff that their own homegrown talent is doing. She's a phenomenal talent. She can perform all over the world, just like Miguel Vargas is coming here. And she's at that start of her musical journey. And a lot of the time we forget what we have here. And I believe in what we've got here. And I'm seeing it. I work with these students a lot of the time. And you can hear that glimpse of greatness that just needs that support and exposure to grow and become. I mean, Cayman is on the world stage.
Just needs to be watered a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, you have the careers people have. I mean, we already mentioned Jason Gilbert. You have Jazz Pitcairn and all these different people doing amazing things, and you're looking at that and we are hearing these different stories. Frankie Flowers. I mean, everywhere you turn, Cayman is really evolving in ways that 50 years ago you would have never imagined was possible because of the choice of careers people can have now. Before you were a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, what have you. But no one is saying you shouldn't be that, but you can be other things if you want to. And Cayman is allowing that to happen now. And that's something I feel shows the maturity of a community accepting more alternative careers, which I think is great. And being able to have this is an important thing, it needs to be sustainable as well. And that's when you realize you've got somewhere, which is good.
So tickets, you just go to the website?
Yeah, go online. You can get tickets at Eventbrite. And you just click on the link, or you go to CaymanArtsFestival.com and click on the link for Jaden Hanna, of course, because that's the next event. And it's 2 for 1 for Jaden Hanna's event. The last event is not a 2 for 1, apparently. So just Jaden Hanna's one. But it's going to be absolutely stunning. I can't wait. She's got a very unique voice, and she's a mature artist in her own right.
Jaden Hanna Thursday night.
Jaden Hanna Thursday night, and Miguel Vargas on Saturday night.
Yeah. Before we go, just speak a little bit about how the festival has grown. I mean, you started this along with
Jennifer.
That's right.
Jennifer Micallef, yes. It's amazing. I mean, she sent me a message a couple of days ago because it was interesting. She sent me this message because there was a group that we had in our very first festival called Backbeat, a percussion quartet, and they came to Cayman, and they've now celebrating their 30th anniversary. In fact, it was this weekend. And they were putting together this PowerPoint of all the different events they've done, and Cayman was there. It was really, because we did the collaborative event with them. And so we started this 22 years ago. And prior to those 22 years, about 3 years before, we had been invited to perform here. And basically, Cayman was a different place. The cultural landscape was very different. There weren't as many events happening for people to go to as you have now. And so, of course, people came, there were hundreds and hundreds of people who came to the concert. And afterwards, they're like, when are you coming back, you know? Can we have more of this, you know? And this is when Jennifer said, when we went back on tour to Edinburgh, she said, this is the response. Let's try a festival.
Yeah.
And it was all experimental, and see where we are now. And, you know, thank you to Radio Cayman. You have been there from the very beginning, every single year. It's been fantastic. We've got people like Butterfield who've been on with us every single year, Walkers. I mean, we've got RBC, Dominion Securities. They started our after-school program, for example, with supporting it. Compass Media, for example. And we've, both Breeze and Radio Cayman. Cayman Cultural Foundation. Again, these are some of our partners, our gold sponsors. We've got DHL, we've got Andrew Galloway, we've got Century 21, Trio Architecture. All these different individuals, different companies are the ones that we rely on heavily. And then even the Ministry of Culture, they just came on board to help. Everybody really believes in what we're trying to do with the young people, and for that we are most grateful, and they will never, ever, ever be disappointed about the fact they chose to invest in our young people.
Glenn, thank you for coming back and wrapping things up for the festival for this week.
So Charles, thank you so much.
Great work.
Thank you. Thank you, Radio Cayman, Paul and Susan. Thank you.
It's time for the news, so let's check in with the newsroom.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Department of Environmental Health is warning that its offices and landfills will be closed tomorrow morning. On Tuesday, the 10th of February, DEH offices and landfills in Grand Cayman and the Sister Islands will be shut for a staff meeting and reopen at 1 p.m. The garbage collection will run as normal. Large waste loads should be dropped off before 8 a.m. and the 24-hour drop-off area will stay open for small residential loads. In international news, Britain's Prime Minister is fighting to hang on amid a scandal over his former Washington envoy, Peter Mendelsohn. Keir Starmer is refusing calls to quit, even from Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar, after two top aides, including his communications chief, resigned over Mendelsohn's appointment and subsequent police probe into alleged leaks to Jeffrey Epstein. In other news, AI-powered doctor apps are also under fire in a new Reuters investigation. One Turkish cancer patient was wrongly told by ChatGPT he might live only 5 years, while consumer apps like Eureka Health AI Doctor and AI Dermatologist Skin Scanner have been pulled or rewritten after claims of wildly inaccurate risk assessments. Regulators say such tools are meant for education, not diagnosis, and experts warn many simply aren't reliable enough to play virtual doctor. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Urban Adolphus Tibbetts Certificate of Honor, 1914 to 1991. Urban Tibbetts was the 12th and last child of William and Henrietta Tibbetts of Kimmenbrack. As a young man, he went to sea for a few years. When he returned home, he served as a police officer for 3 years and then returned to sea. After retiring from sea for the second time, he joined the Public Works Department and within a few years became supervisor. During his years as work supervisor, he supervised the construction of Kimmenbrack Airport, the road to the lighthouse on the bluff, and the road on the south side of the Brack. He did not just supervise the work, but worked along with the men on the job. Urban raised cattle, and when he butchered at Christmas time, he often gave away beef to families who could not pay for it. He was always willing to help those in need. In the early 1950s, he donated the land for Fellowship Baptist Church, and once it was built, he joined the church and became a deacon. Urban was married to Vida McLaughlin, and the couple had 7 children.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Celebrating 50 years of broadcasting in the Cayman Islands.
50 years of music.
This is Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
50 years of life. We are the rhythm of the city.
Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And let's take a quick look at the weather. It is 79 degrees outside here in Georgetown, and the wind is at about, almost 11.5 knots coming out of the east-northeast. Humidity 58%. And today's forecast calls for cloudy skies straight through into tonight. Winds expected out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas are moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. And that's our little weather update. We have someone on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Shallow. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Robert.
I tell you,
go ahead.
In all of my lifetime in Cayman Islands, I never seen any bird that could defeat a hawk. Up until last night.
Yeah.
I don't really understand everything about that game, but I like the wide receivers. And I like the sprint, when they sprint for a touchdown. That's very exciting to me,
So you enjoyed the football game? American football game.
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it, man. Because I was watching some English football team there,
Did you get to see Bad Bunny the halftime?
Chalo. Those guys, man, I tell you, those artists that raise to fame overnight like that, my friend. I mean, I heard a little story about him this morning, right? 10 years ago, he was like a cart boy in a supermarket like Price Right.
Yeah.
Taking groceries and things to cars and things like that,
Mm.
10 years later, he's on the world's biggest stage. I said, Chalo, when it's for you in life, you will get it, man. Trust me.
I'm sure he put in a lot of hard work to get there.
This is what I'm saying, Chalo. I don't know about no rich man, children, boy or girl that reaches those heights. Always coming from poverty. And I'm talking about the footballers, everybody, those artists, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, and all those guys. If you really see where they come from, my boy, where they grew up. Again, I say, Chalo, when it's for you, man.
Yeah, but you got to be prepared to pay your dues, right?
God bless all of them, my friend. God bless all of them. You know, it show you the heart that I have inside of me. You know, I was never grudgeful of anybody having more than me. You understand?
Yeah.
I believed in hard work. Trust me. Yeah, man. I also got some good news about a Caymanian doctor from Bordentown in North Carolina now.
I think Dr. Rose.
Yes. I think he will be living in the States. So sad that he's not here.
Yeah, well, you know, that's one of the things. I mean, I understand that you know this guy had so much talent that
yes,
basically he got an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yes, Chalo, and
where
you know yeah, I listened to the minister. You know, she was very excited about that. You have to be. You understand? But I remember a time, you know, my brother in Canada, he was a paramedic for 30 years up there. He died up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he won all kind of accolades, everything up there. You know, but he was buried here anyway. They brought him home. Yeah, man, but he made us proud up there too, Chado, but he wanted to come home here and work. But what he was making up there, it seemed like Cayman was not prepared to pay. So he just finished everything up there, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing that, especially in, you know, Dr. Rose's case, that Joel Rose, he's a man whose talents were of such caliber that, you know, he had to be on a bigger stage, a bigger environment.
Yeah, man. Well, again, God bless him. See you here too, man. Well, tell me something, Chalo. That doctor that they had here, that Dr. Rose that they had here when we were growing up here, would be some family to him?
I would think so.
I believe so, man. Well, I don't know his mother, but I know his father. Huh?
I'm pretty sure there's a connection. I'm not going to try and draw the family tree here, but I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah, I believe so, because he was a good doctor too, and we were glad to have him in those times as well. Yeah, trust me. Anyway, Chalo, have a good evening, my brethren. There's so much to talk about, man.
Well,
but
thank
somebody
you so
else
much.
Yeah, man, somebody else want to talk to, man. So,
continue to enjoy the day.
Yeah, man. Later.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Cool. Yeah, man. All right, bye.
Yes. You know, we're quite proud when we see Caymanians such as Dr. Joel Rose progress to the heights that he has to become, you know, a chief medical officer and vice president of medical affairs at the University of North Carolina Health Wing in Goldsboro, North Carolina. He has certainly distinguished himself, and like I said, his talents have taken him beyond the bounds of Cayman. And sometimes, you have those people that are so good at what they do that, they can't be confined to a small operation. They have to shine, like I said, on a much bigger stage, which is what he is certainly doing. Well, you might have seen in the news that the government is putting plans in place, or have put plans in place, to merge three units concerned with transportation, namely the National Roads Authority, the Public Transport Unit. They are the unit responsible for licensing taxis and the public bus operation, and also the third arm of that would be the Department of Vehicle and Drivers Licensing, and they want to make them into one unit. Apparently this is still in its infancy, still early days, and they have actually put out a notice for a tender to have provide project management. They want looking for someone to provide project management in merging these three units, because while they are in some aspect or other connected with transport and transportation, they do different things. NRA build roads. Then we have the Public Transportation Unit concerned with buses, managing the bus routes and licensing taxis. And then, of course, the Department of Vehicle and Drivers Licensing. They inspect cars, license cars, and licensed drivers. So all of those are in different areas of transport. So they need someone to bring it all together. So this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. Apparently, there's not even a name yet for that whatever this new department would be called, but certainly it has its merits, and one of the things that I would like to see come out of it is that we established a real public transport system that is dependable, that when a bus is supposed to be at a certain point, it's going to be there. And I know last year the minister was Minister J. Ebanks was on for the record saying things were going to be tightened up as far as the operation of the public's bus service, because there's been a lot of complaints about how those individual drivers are servicing the routes, timeliness, or we even hear instances of where they decided to call it a day early and go home, and a number of things, the way in which they address passengers, overloading the buses, picking people up where they should not be picking people up. But I think it's time for us to move to something that is more organized with specific bus stops, and when a bus is scheduled to be at a certain place, you can count on it being there to pick you up. I can remember in most of my broadcasting career, I've always, for the most part anyway, I worked the first shift. And I can remember when coming out of Prospect Park, around about 6 o'clock and I used to pick this lady up because she was always waiting and looking for a ride, because at that time of morning she needed to get to work. She worked on West Bay Road, going at a hotel, and at that time there was no bus service that early in the morning, so she was always trying to get a lift into town where she could catch a bus going down West Bay Road. And those are the kind of things, those are the kind of people that need a reliable bus service. And, often, you can catch the bus for the most part, but it should be a service that you can depend on. That if you know that you have to be to work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it takes you on a bus approximately 45 minutes to get there from wherever you are starting out from, that if you catch a bus at a certain time and a bus is scheduled to be at where a stop is close to your residence, that you can depend on that, Yeah, maybe it's a few minutes late, 3 minutes, 4 minutes late, and the schedule stopped because it is the road and things don't always go like clockwork. But it's going to be there, and it's going to get you to work on time. I don't know if you can say that it's fully reliable at how things are right now. You probably have to overestimate the time to make sure that you do get to work by a certain time. But in most places, you will see bus service provided by the government. And I know this was decided many, many years ago that the government was not going to try and provide public bus service, that would leave it for the private sector, and individuals would run their own bus. And, certainly that saves government a lot of money. But with an ever-growing population and people complaining about, the amount of cars on the road, if we had a good, reliable service where you can sit in a fairly comfortable bus without being someone almost sitting on top of you, maybe people wouldn't be going out and trying to get a car, no matter, how old a car it is, just to be able to have transportation to be able to get to work on time. And it seems like if you drive and you're out on the road a lot, sometimes you wonder, you're trying to get in to a main road and the cars just keep coming, and you're wondering, where are all these cars coming from? Where do we keep all of these cars that, just keep streaming by? It's like you don't know when you're going to get a break. And it's because everybody who can somehow scrape enough money together to buy a car, whether it's 10 years old, 15 years old, if they got something that they can say, okay, I know it takes me a half hour to get to work, and that's when I'm going to leave my house, and I'll have my car. My car is going to get me there, and in time to go to work, instead of going out and having to wait on a bus that maybe they're on time or it might not be on time, and you're late for work, or you got to start out extra early, just to make sure that you do get there in time, where really you probably, if you had a reliable service, you could plan your day much better. You probably wouldn't have to get out to the bus stop as early as you do in order to make sure you catch some bus going your way to get to work on time. And life would be so much better for a lot of people. Plus, people won't be trying to buy a car, regardless of the condition of it. They just want some kind of transportation to get them to where they're going on time. I hope they seriously look at developing a public transportation system, whether it's going to be government run or maybe it's going to be some kind of franchise that a contract to provide transportation is given to a single source, and that person is, or a company rather, is responsible for providing reliable transportation with vehicles of a certain standard that, people are going to be able to sit and not feel like they're being squeezed for, a 20-minute drive someplace. Because I've seen some buses that, boy, it seems like the drivers are like, it's always room for one more. Move up, move over, let me get one more person in here. And yeah, they're trying to make money for the day, right? But your passengers also shouldn't have to be, uncomfortable for the whole ride. And if we don't get that, apparently there are plans to more heavily regulate the system that we have now and the way that drivers handle their customers, the way that they drive. Because if you ever been driving behind a bus or, driving along and they pull out right in front of you, there's lots of times there's a lot to be desired in the way they handle that bus. We're going to take a break. I'll be right back. And remember, it's open line. So you got something you want to talk about? Pick up the phone, give me a call. Let me know what's on your mind. Be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Hey K-Man, we know you love driving, but not sitting in traffic. This Ash Wednesday, skip the bumper to bumper and take the Agriculture Show Park and Ride. Park easy, hop on, and let someone else do the driving straight to the grounds. Shuttles will run continuously from 4 locations all day. Follow Cayman Agriculture on Facebook and Instagram for all the details.
The annual Agriculture Show is hosted by the Cayman Islands Agricultural Society and the Ministry of Agriculture and is sponsored by the Department of Agriculture, Pepsi, Quality Feed, Ale Thompson's, Terra Vegetation and Maintenance, and Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Got a few WhatsApp messages here. Okay, remember a caller, Robert, was wondering about Dr. Joel Rose's connection to Dr. Rose as we knew him as when we were growing up. This WhatsApp message here is saying Dr. Dispenser, Dr. Rose is Dr. Joel Rose's grandfather, as well as his uncle, Dr. Hetley Rose, who practiced here. So I guess medicine just runs in the family. Of course, his mother's Nurse Rose. So yeah, medicine runs in the family. And here another one responding to that says, yes, Chalo, the late Dr. Rose was Pastor Rose's father, so he'd be Dr. Joel Rose's grandfather. Yes. And another one here, WhatsApp message saying, for a reliable bus service, the government will also need to put in a bus line only for the buses to travel in because of traffic. Yeah, I guess that's a good point there. You know, the bus only line, lane, so that the bus can flow along and move quicker than the general traffic in the morning. Unless you're going to just have it that you take the traffic into account as far as when a bus is going to be at a certain point. Of course, that would be very motivating for people to take the bus to work instead of trying to drive, right? If you see the bus going along ahead of you there and you're stuck in traffic, when you could take a bus into town and get there in good time. But we do need to develop a good public transportation system. Well, this would call for, bus service, a special lane for buses to travel in, government developing their own transportation system, with larger buses than what are available to people now so that they can ride in comfort, or either you contract it out to a single provider. If you have something you would like to talk about, the numbers to call is 1-800-534-8255. That is courtesy of Flo, of course, and also you can reach me on 949-8037 or 949-6990, and WhatsApp 925-3261. And we do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sir Clyde. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just about to have some lunch, so let me give you a quick call before I do that.
Okay.
Public transport.
Uh-huh.
Yes, a lot of what you're discussing and suggesting, they're all part and parcel, yes, of a good public transport system. A couple of other things, at least in my view, and apparently the view of a lot of other jurisdictions that have implemented a public transport system, you have to incentivize the riders. So it basically have to be more profitable for someone to take a bus as opposed to driving their private vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of our existing roads, those we want to also de-incentivize private vehicles. So if you're living, let's say, a couple of hundred feet, whatever, from the main road, you either walk or drive your vehicle to a sort of central location, park it, and then catch the bus.
Okay.
So we also have to now start thinking about purchasing some land in order for people to be able to park their vehicle and catch the public transport. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm up with you.
Okay. So, and the way that land is being developed at present, it may be in government's best interest to start contemplating purchasing some land close to the existing main roads within the districts. Sometimes they may not be in an ideal location, but better than where they are now. Otherwise, if we can't have those persons who drive in a private vehicle, can't incentivize them to take the public transport, I mean, they're not going to walk 100 yards from their house to the bus stop to catch a bus when they can drive their own vehicle. So maybe looking at some form of user fee for using the roads, parking fees in town, but there has to be you have to de-incentivize drivers in order to get some of the vehicles off the road to improve the traffic flow.
Yeah, I think I've heard of places where in the town centers, there's like some kind of toll to be able to drive in there.
Yes. So if we don't do something similar to that, why would I not drive my private vehicle into town?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see what you...
But I mean, do you think, a lot of people who can't necessarily afford a car would be able to support a public transportation system? Or you need to be much wider than that?
No, it need to be much. If we want to address the traffic issue, because of the number of vehicles on the road, we have to get those persons, or a majority, or some of them, to not drive their private vehicle and take the public transport. Because the persons that primarily take the public transport now are those who can't afford a private vehicle. Those persons who are working in the service industry, whether it's construction, the hotel and hospitality industry. Those are the primary users of the bus nowadays. I mean, you have some other users as well, but I think they ask any of the bus drivers now. Those are the persons that are the majority of their customers. So
I would think that would be so, yeah.
They are not the ones causing the traffic issues because of the number of cars or vehicles on the road. They don't have a vehicle. So we have to get those persons who have a vehicle, we have to get them to start taking the public transport. How do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's where you need to de-incentivize the use of private vehicles. Otherwise, we won't address the traffic issue, which I think is one of the reasons why they're trying to implement a proper public transport system. Okay, sir?
Do you think, and you know about these things because of your work in the past, do you think that can be done in Cayman?
Yes, Jello. I mean, we're all human. We're not really any different than in other jurisdictions.
Yeah, we're not that unique, right?
No. And we all share a lot of similar issues. Some persons have addressed it differently, or some jurisdictions have addressed it differently because of their sort of unique situation. But I suppose the common thread is to incentivize users and de-incentivize the use of private vehicles.
Yeah.
So however you do that, I think it's been done differently in different countries. But that's sort of underlying commonality amongst all the public transport system. I mean, some people use a combination of trains, trams, buses. Now, because of our sort of makeup and our existing infrastructure, like the roads, we may not be able to use all of those. So we may have to cover something different or a combination. But in order to address the amount of vehicles on the road, they may have to make it a lot more undesirable, uneconomical to drive.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Use your car.
Mm-hmm. So if we can't get those persons off the road, then we really can't see the public transport being that beneficial. So probably one of the main problems that we're trying to solve, which is reducing the number of vehicles on the road.
Unless you were just going to provide a transportation system that is catering to those who can't afford a car.
Yes, but I hope that is more than what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Because otherwise, most Caymanians have probably gone to Florida, especially Miami. And have you ever gone there yet and you don't see construction, especially on the I-95?
Yeah. I was talking to Mickey the other day that we're going to soon be like that. We're always adding another lane.
Right, and we cannot build our way out of traffic. But again,
and everybody agrees it's a problem. The traffic is a problem.
Now we have to agree on the solution.
Yeah. That's where the debate will be.
It should be hot. Yes, hot. But the longer we put it off, the more difficult it's going to be. So, sir, that was my a small contribution for today.
Well, thank you very much.
You're most welcome, sir.
All right. Enjoy your lunch.
Thanks.
Take care.
Okay, bye for now.
Do we have another caller on the line there? Let's take that.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I want to touch on two things here. And I don't want nobody at Radio Cayman to get angry or upset because of what I have to say. Okay?
Okay.
There was a conversation the other day.
Sounds like I should brace myself.
No. There was a conversation the other day I had on one of the other shows. We were talking about the identity of what Radio Cayman is and what it is not. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If it is supposed to be a government-funded, somewhat, radio station for the people, isn't it? Isn't Radio Cayman the people's station?
Well, you can look at it that way, yeah. It's a government.
Yeah, well, that's what it's supposed to be, okay? But it is far from being it, okay? Very far from being it, and I'll tell you why. If you're going to get money from the government, which in turn is the people of this country, to run a radio station, and the people should not be interrupted so many times by things called commercials, okay?
Well, that's
because
our input.
Yes?
We help to fund the government and fund our own operation.
Okay, we understand that then. So it's not a people-owned radio. It's not the people's station. It's a commercially run operation. This was what the conversation was on one of the shows the other morning, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You all, how do I put this not to make management Radio Cayman try to get this? Your viewership is nothing to be bragged about. Period, full stop. Because at any given time when you have a talk show on, there's hardly anyone watching it.
Well, that's the online
yes,
audience.
And that is listening to the radio also. I don't think I can do it anymore because you're either getting cut off because of a commercial or told to hold on. You know, if we are going to address, Mr. Glidden, the serious issues that we have in this country, the people of this country have to have their voice. Okay?
Well, nobody is stopping you from calling and voicing your opinion.
Yes, but it goes to this. If you spend more time putting commercials on your programming than you do to make the public interact, then it is a failed system to me. I'll leave that there, okay? I want to touch on something.
Let me just respond to that, though. Just respond to that.
I'm not being mean or rude. I'm just seeing it as it is.
There's 2 talk shows on in the morning.
Yeah.
Alternate, right? Then there's this one on 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't think that we provide you with enough opportunity to voice your opinion with the buzz on the record and on Talk Today, which is on for 2 hours, 5 days a week? You don't think there's time enough in all that programming that you can voice your opinion?
Yeah, you can voice your opinion, but it's still lacking. The studio looks nice and all, but we didn't have to go to that extent for a studio. Okay?
Well, they got kind of old.
Elsewhere. It was old, but it did not need all that extravagance. I'm sorry.
Well, it's really not that extravagant,
that is my
really.
opinion, and I will leave it there.
Okay.
Because I have respect for everyone at Radio Cayman. But when you constantly are getting cut off because of a commercial, and half of the commercials shouldn't be on there because we keep.
Yeah, we have one coming up, by the way.
Yeah, well, I will hold on and listen.
Well, go ahead for now.
I'm a person that don't eat junk food anymore. I don't eat it, and I keep hearing all these stupid commercials of Wendy's, Burger King, Subway. You know, fast food is what got Cayman in the mess it is in today with health. That's one thing. I want to touch on our roadways, and I want to touch on how the foreign police officers' attitudes have rubbed off on some of our very own Caymanian police constables. I had a situation last week or week before last, can't remember, because I'm tired of calling to get a police vehicle on a stretch of road that runs from Watercoast Road when you come off of it and make the left there to go to the Cayman Turtle Center, Conch Restaurant before, and the Dolphin Discovery Place.
Yeah.
I've had a foreign police officer about a week and a half ago hang the phone up on me. And she told me the police don't have the resources. I said, you don't have the resources? Didn't the Commissioner of Police get a pile of money the last time Parliament was in session? And didn't he, Mr. Walton, say that pay raises had happened because he was trying to keep what good officers he had? All good and well, Mr. Glidden. But when you call the police, wherever police station you call, you don't expect to be hung up on because you get frustrated of trying to get something dealt with. So the officer hung up on me because she thought, I guess, she didn't want to listen to what I had to say. So the phone rings on 649-3999, and it's a Caymanian police officer. I asked the foreign one for her name and her police constable badge. Now she hasn't.
You're kind of breaking up there.
I said I got a call from the police station a couple minutes later, and it was a Caymanian, a female police officer, a Miss Ebank. And the conversation went away also because what the police fails to understand, when a member of the public calls, we are not calling to harass them or to bother them. We are calling because we see things in our communities and our neighborhood and our country that we want the police to address, not brush under the rug and forget the call ever happened and tell you that you're going to log it and a police car come in and nothing ever comes. So the Caymanian police officer, Miss Ebanks, said her rank police constable number and said she was Miss Ebanks. And she said Ebanks. So if that Caymanian police officer could do it, why couldn't the foreign one do it? Then the police officer and me and her started getting it because I was talking too much, and she says I needed to listen. I said, okay, I can shut my mouth and listen. She proceeded to tell me that what the foreign police officer was meant to say was that they don't have the resources to put a vehicle there for hours. I said, Miss Ebanks, it'll take all about 5 minutes. But I get all you don't want to do.
You just hold on for me? Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back to that call.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cineco and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's return to our phone call. Are you
Yes,
still there?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir, I'm here.
Continue the story.
The problem I see with the RCIPS is there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, okay? So I told the Caymanian police officer, I said, ma'am, all you don't want to listen, but maybe when it affects one of yours, when somebody from the police service gets knocked down and killed for the speeding on the stretch of road that I keep calling about, and you all keep promising that you're going to put vehicles there. The police come down, Mr. Glidden, and all the police have done is drive past. Everyone is speeding on the road. It starts from about 4 o'clock in the morning. The residents are speeding. The public transport drivers, bus drivers, are some of the worst. These tour bus operators are some of the worst, and the taxi drivers are some of the worst. But yet you get told when you call to try to fix something that you're being a bother to the police service by calling them. I said to the young lady, I said, ma'am, it would take all about 5 minutes for you to see what's happening. And I said, as for the officer that hung up on me, she got no respect for me nor the public. That's why the majority of times when all you come to the public refuse to assist all of you because you all have no respect for the public that come to you. Now, I hope Mr. Walton ears are loud and clear and listening because he knows I'm from Kimberbrag and he knows I got speak. Mr. Walton?
Let me ask you something. Are you were asking them to put a car
I
along
have
that
asked
road
them to put a vehicle on both ends of Northwest Point Road to see what is taking place with the speeding. And all now, last week I called Georgetown police station. When I did call, I asked to be transferred to traffic, and I got told by the young lady that answered it, their phones have been down for days. When I called, couldn't get no answer the next day. The police number, when I did get them, I was told by the young lady, that number was down too. But the public doesn't know this. So where is your customer service? Where is your customer service training? And where's your notification? If a police number is down, the public should know about it, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
It does not say very much for the management of the RCIPS
I know
and for
every
the
so often
ultimate person.
we do get public service notices, saying that there's a problem.
But something as important as a primary telephone number for the police station the public needs to get notified when it's not working, and they need to have alternate numbers. So I said, I'm getting nowhere.
Real emergency, there's 911.
Yeah, but the police numbers should be working, period. I don't care what they say. We cannot continue to allow persons on our roadways to continue this madness that is going on, because at some point, one of us are going to be affected, whether it's a family member, a friend, or anyone, a co-worker, whatever. We just see that someone has knocked someone down again on our roadways. The person is in Georgetown Hospital with head injuries. The police has and have to listen to the public, period. Because if Mr. Walton wants to change anything in the respect and the regard of how the public views the RCIPS or RCIPS or whatever the heck we call it here, I think the governor needs to take a strong look at what's happening on our roadways. She needs to be more visible because she is the one in charge of protecting us through the RCIPS. And if the police cannot function on a daily basis when a resident calls to make a complaint about speeding on a roadway. If it cannot be addressed, then we need to start addressing those that are in management of the RCIPS, because something is going to have to be done. What happens when a member of the public takes matters in their own hands, Mr. Glidden? Huh? Because the police don't seem to care.
Are you talking about a vigilante
Going on
action?
the roadway.
Are you talking about a vigilante action?
Yeah, because people have that mindset in Cayman. I know people that are frustrated because they go out on the road, they can't exercise, they're facing traffic, and you got cars coming 50 miles past them in a 30 mile. The other day on this stretch of road here, Northwest Point, I watched a tour being done on the bicycles. It was about 20 visitors, cruise ship passengers. They got on down from the Turtle Farm and came up. A car comes flying past doing 60 miles on the stretch of the road from down there. When one of those get knocked down, who's going to pay for them? Is the RCIPS going to pay for it? It'll be too late then. Mr.
Well, listen,
Walton,
I hope you think I've given you enough time, because I gotta go. It's 2:00, and 2:00 here means news time.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Government is getting ready to honor some of Cayman's top young achievers. On Thursday, the 12th of February, Education Minister Ralston Anglin will host the 2025-2026 Government High School Scholar Award reception at 6 p.m. at the Westin, where the ministry will officially announce this year's Government High School Scholars and celebrate their outstanding academic performance. In international news, the EU is moving to tighten its Russia oil sanctions by targeting foreign ports for the first time. A new proposal from the bloc's diplomatic service and the European Commission would add Georgia's Kulavi port and Indonesia's Karimun port to its latest sanctions package, accusing them of handling Russian oil in breach of existing measures. French government advisors are urging the EU to hit back at a wave of cheap Chinese imports with drastic measures. They say Brussels should consider either a 30% tariff on all Chinese goods or pushing the euro down 20 to 30% against the renminbi to protect key industries like cars, machine tools, chemicals, and batteries. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and a quick look at the weather. It's 78 degrees here in Georgetown with wind at about 13.5 knots coming out of the east-northeast. Relative humidity, 56%. And today's forecast is calling for cloudy skies straight into tonight with winds out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts and wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. That's moderate seas. And if you didn't know, the National Weather Service has the radar back in action. and things are looking good on the radar. No rain in our area, so partly cloudy, but no rain in the area. And a couple of messages here from on our WhatsApp. And remember that last caller said we shouldn't have been so extravagant in refurbishing the studio, and this person is saying, the studio is beautiful, and I'm proud of RC's 50 years. Quite deserving. And another message says that the caller is speaking the truth, and they actually showed a video of apparently a car accident with a car and a motorcycle. I don't know if that was due to speeding or what the situation was. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, man. What's up?
I call back again.
Yeah.
I say 70 years ago, that road was a track.
At Northwest Point Road?
Northwest Point Road. You know, I come from there, so I must know.
You're a Northwest Pointer?
When we had to inhale all that dust from cars just started to come into Cayman them times.
Yes. The Morrow Road.
Yes. 70 years ago, that's what it was, a track. So maybe we'll have to do on Northwest Point Road. I think it's a sleeping police there by Pilgrim Holders Church.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one there.
Well, when you say it was a track, I mean a car could go down it, right?
Yeah, but let me tell you, man, they used to speed them times, going up to Blue Horizon.
Oh, you mean it was like a racetrack?
Yeah.
Okay, I get you now. I thought you meant like a little footpath or a little track.
No, man. And I remember one guy, he was a seaman too. He was a Powery, Byron Powery. And I remember when he bought a nice Chevy car, and that car was fast. You could always tell when he was coming because you could hear it coming and the clouds was just coming with it. Yeah, but he got saved and became an international preacher, man. So that was a good thing for him, But everybody 70 years ago was speeding on that road there. Like I say, I see them go all kind of sleeping police up around on Bastille Hill Road and thing. Maybe they'll have to do that down there too. It's sad that the tourists, they really have to experience all that kind of thing there. Riding from Turtle Center, coming up across that area. Yeah. Easy for somebody to get killed, man. Trust me, man. All right, Chalo, just my little piece on that road,
Yeah, so as far as you're concerned, that's been a racetrack from day one.
Yeah. It's sad that it's still that way, and people that we depending on for help us in these situations, not really paying us no mind sometimes. I don't know what to say. I'll catch you later, my boy.
All right, you take care. Have a good one.
Yeah, man, cool.
Yeah, even back in the day there, like he's talking about 70 years ago, guys used to get those big cars with, powerful engines. And I can remember we used to have some real bad accidents around Cayman, even though, there weren't a lot of cars, but there were some fast cars. Those big V8s, and maybe that's one blessing for the traffic. You can't drive as fast as what you used to be able to, because we used to have some accidents there that just incredible. What would happen with a car? And sometimes more than one person getting killed in those accidents. And like our caller was saying, that Northwest Point Road, I guess, from long time now, people been racing up and down on that road. But if it is a troubled spot, I would think that, the police would put in some kind of extra patrol there to try and give out tickets, and sometimes just the presence of police, of course, will deter people from driving beyond the speed limit to the point where they actually become a danger to the rest of the public. And I know our caller, this is not the first time that he has talked about that. From, I think, back from when I first started this program last year, there was calls about that same area that he was talking about there. But speeding, oh boy, let me tell you, when you're young and you got a car with a fast engine, something about being young and having a fast car, that you got to drive it as fast as you can. Why? I don't know. Something about young guys, I guess. And sometimes you think you can drive a lot better than you really can, or you think you got a car that can handle a corner not quite as good as what you thought it could. It's like sometimes we got all these roundabouts now, and you go through a roundabout and you see a BMW, over into the bush, because somebody thought that because they were driving a BMW, they could go through that roundabout at any speed that they wanted to. And they found out what the limit was on that car as far as taking a roundabout and how fast you could go in it. But, and I think it's mostly men, right? Young men especially, that will drive a car super fast and seeing how fast they can go and get away with it, right? Test the car to its limit. And the thing about testing a car to its limit, when it goes beyond its limit, there's a good chance of you getting killed. And all that, I guess, goes back to driver's education, implanting in people's minds the correct way to drive, and the limits to driving, and the consequence of driving too fast. Sometimes it's as though people will drive in such a manner that they think there's no consequence to it. You wonder. So you see an accident, and you really have to wonder how did that car end up in that position, facing that way? It's like, wow, man, what were they doing? But if we start educating people from the time they're young about the way to drive a car and the consequences of speeding or driving badly. And sometimes it just comes down to ignorance, I think. the way that you see people dealing with a traffic situation, and it's as if they never were taught how to properly drive a car. And the consequence of that is often someone getting hurt, and even worse, there are times that the consequence is someone dies, either the driver or someone else. I need to take a break. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And we're into our, last 14 minutes of the show. So if you would like to get in on some of the talk here, time to pick up the phone, give me a call, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call a 949-8037, 949-6990, or WhatsApp 925-3261. Story in the Compass today about what the Northwesters have done along, 7 Mile Beach from Boggy Sand Road, right up to, I guess, the Marriott, and where sand being taken from, some parts, like down at Boggy Sand Road, but sand being replenished in other places, but anyone who's lived in Cayman for, some length of time knows how these, things change as far as the amount of sand on the beach, depending on what kind of weather we get. And here they're talking about Boggy Sands. A visitor staying in a place down there said, he saw the beach change in a matter of, 2 days, I think it was, where sand was taken away. But to, the south end of 7 Mile Beach, sand was being deposited, like Royal Palms, that beach there, apparently received some replenishment because of the wave action. And even the Marriott, if you've been out to the back of the Marriott, it was water was, lapping, or not even lapping, right up against the wall there the last time that I had gone out in the patio at the back of the Marriott. And that since these recent nor'westers now, apparently there's a small strip of beach in the back of the Marriott. The Marriott actually has a beach. And that's Mother Nature for you. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand it, but those are the kind of things that happen. And the forces of Mother Nature, there really is no no way you can overcome them. In most instances, you can probably do things temporarily, but good old Mother Nature will have its way. And, things probably would not have been as bad if we just used some common sense and know that if you build a wall where waves are going to bounce back off of it and wash sand away, that the beach is going to be eroded. And, down in West Bay there, as kids growing up, we all knew about, what we call the ledges. Sometimes the ledges were there, and you'd go play on the ledges. The slippery ledges, and you fall down and bruise up your backside when you fell down on the ledges. And then some other time, the sand came and covered them up. And it was just a natural occurrence. The ebb and flow of the beach. There was sand, and then there is no sand. And that's how things go. But it seems like when we started building along West Bay Beach, 7 Mile Beach, everybody wanted to get as close to the water as they possibly could. And that's not a good idea, getting as close to the sea as possible. Because, it's beautiful. It can be peaceful. But it's not always like that. No. The sea has its wrath, right? And whether it's a northwester or a hurricane, a tropical storm, when the waves come rolling in, you better give them some space to, run out of energy before, it's gonna hit whatever you build there. Because the waves can destroy what you put there, and if they don't destroy it, and it's bouncing back off of a wall and going back out, it's going to take sand, and it's going to erode the very beauty of why you're there. The thing that made you want to live right there on the beach, because of what the structures that you put up, you're helping to destroy it. Because the waves are going to come sooner or later. Sooner or later, some big waves are going to come in, no matter what. We have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, not bad. Mr. Jalo, you know what I would like to see happen? I don't know if Radio Cayman would be able to do it, but like every once in a while you have like a little talent show or something like that where singers can possibly sing on the radio, or like how I do a bit of poetry and stuff. Like more poetry. I don't know what you think about that, Mr. Charlo.
Well, it probably is a good idea, but it's a lot of production involved in that. I don't know if we have the staffing to, produce something like that.
I think some live stuff or even recordings, and you can have a different flavor instead of like always just speaking about the local issues. A little entertainment, a little local entertainment showcasing.
Hire musicians to come in and hire singers to come in?
Well, I don't know how it would work out, but I think it would be something. It would be good, encouraging. I think it would be encouraging, and that sort of thing. I think so. I think that should work out well. It would certainly boost the ratings of Radio Cayman as well, I believe.
Well,
I think so.
Yeah. I know the BBC does those sort of things, but
or the BBC.
Yeah, but they're a big organization with a huge budget, and they will bring in performers, and they will perform at a studio at the BBC.
Okay.
I'm not saying it can't be done, but
because I know
you got to produce it. Somebody has to produce it. Somebody has to gather all the people together, coordinate everything, get all the technical aspects down.
I know some talk shows they have like musicians on at times, and they.
Yeah, if you're just talking about someone with an acoustic instrument, it's pretty easy. But again, it's putting it all together.
Yeah, putting it all together. Right. I know what you mean. It's not simple. You might have the other people who could probably, like the DJs, they put on the rhythm and they sing live and have, they say, well, this person is from so place in Cayman, and that's their name, the singer and the DJ, and sort of promote them as well. I think it would be good. I don't know if some radio station or so might do it in the future, or even Compass TV. I don't know. But it's good to know that we got Compass TV though too. It's good. So things are it's coming back. Things getting better. It's good to know that extra entertainment.
Yeah, if it's a couple of people, like say playing acoustic guitar, it wouldn't be that hard to produce, because you just put a microphone in front of the acoustic guitar and another microphone for them to sing or something like that. But
right. Because I was expecting what I was expecting from I was expecting to hear something of the sort from the other people that were on this morning. A little earlier, sometime I expect to hear a bit of music, like, a little demonstration of classical, or like how sometimes the certain singers come down to Cayman and they sing a little piece and sort of thing. And then the people get excited and they say, when they have a show now, then we'll be there.
Well, listen, we got to wrap it up. I got to wrap it up, okay? Because running out of time. But thanks for the suggestion. You take care. Have a good afternoon. Yeah, that's about it for Talk Today. Thank you all for tuning in, and to all the people who called in, thank you for calling in and making your contribution, letting us know what's on your mind. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.